Hello everyone, welcome to Tathastu and welcome back to our daily current affairs MCQs which is being presented by me. My name is Khushboo. Let's get started with today's MCQs, but before that a little bit of information related to the courses of Tathastu. So these are the courses which are currently running. You can join in any of these. PSLV soon it is going to start, and philosophy batch, this philosophy optional batch is going to start from 15th of September. So hurry, join now. From where you can get the detailed information? Tathastu-ICS.com. You can definitely get information from here, or you can call on any of these numbers. Plus, this is the address. You can visit our office as well if you want to interact and get to know more of the information, whatever. If you feel like that you're not satisfied by over the call or the website, you can definitely visit us, right? So let's get started. First thing, let me tell you, this MSLV is the mains. It is for mains, and prelims, it is prelims oriented. PSLV, it is prelims oriented. Okay, let's get started with the very first question of the day. Consider the following statements. The very first statement is, battery energy storage systems serve as devices that allow the storage of energy generated from renewable sources such as solar and wind, permitting its release at times of peak demand. Second is, viability gap funding is a method employed to provide financial assistance to infrastructure venture that demonstrate both economic and financial viability. Third statement says that VGF, that is the viability gap funding, represents a reliable and assured funding source. So you have to find out that which of these are correct over here. Which one of these is correct? Okay, so here the answer to this question is option A. Only the first statement is correct, so nothing to be explained over there. From where this question has been framed, so this is of the PIB. Cabinet approves this scheme titled Viability Gap Funding, okay, for development of battery energy storage systems, which is very much important. If you want to go green, then you have to work for this. Now, what is now when it comes to the second and third statements, both of these are incorrect over here. VGF, this viability gap funding, it actually serves as the financial instrument, as you can get it from the name itself, viability gap funding. Okay, so it serves as a financial instrument which is actually being employed by the governmental or public entities. Okay, from where the sources, from where it can be actually filled, right? Now, what is the primary purpose over here? The primary purpose is to encourage and bolster infrastructure ventures that possesses the economic viability over here. So this is the primary purpose. Please do remember this thing. Now, when it comes to these projects, despite being related to the economic potential and all, often actually faces the challenges related to the substantial initial expenses, because initial push is the something which is actually very important and difficult also. Initial expenses or limited revenue prospects, these are also one of the important challenges which is actually being faced over here. Now here one more thing which is really very important to know, that is VGF does not represent a sure funding source for infrastructure initiatives. So it cannot give you short that yes, you will be getting funds like this and all. So it is not like that, but yes, it will be providing you the avenues and all. Instead, it actually operates as a mechanism utilized by the government to offer financial assistance over here. So it will be doing this thing, but when it comes to them short, you will be getting this thing. So that is not the situation over here. Now, the next question of the day is it is related to Rabindranath Tagore ji. So consider the following statements with respect to Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol. The very first statement is, Banglar Mati, Banglar Jor is a composition by Rabindranath Tagore expressing a supplication of unity and concord among the Bengali people. Second statement says that this composition serves as the state anthem. Please focus on this thing, that it serves as the state anthem of West Bengal and the national anthem of Bangladesh respectively. Which of these are correct over here? So all of you must remember this thing, that the Bangladesh, when it comes to the national anthem of the Bangladesh, this is not Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol. So that is wrong. So second statement is actually wrong over here. First statement is right. So this thing, Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol, yes, definitely it was actually written by Rabindranath Tagore ji only, and this was written in response to the 1905 Bengal partition, which was done by Britishers in order to divide Hindus and Muslims. They said that we are actually partitioning the Bengal for the purpose of administration, but that was wrong. Okay, that was just, you know, just to they had to actually give something explanation, so they did this thing, because actually Bengal was really very huge at that time. It was actually very huge. It actually consisted of the Bengal, and Bengal, it doesn't mean just only the West Bengal, but the West Bengal, the Bangladesh, today's Bangladesh, some parts of Assam, Bihar, Jharkhand, you know, all these were the parts of Bengal at that particular time, right? So they said that for the administration purpose, for that reason only, we are actually dividing it into two. But the main reason behind that was divide and rule, that is divide and bring some kind of division among Hindus and Muslims. So that is the reason why they divided according to the majority, or you can say majority of the religions in those particular area. So in order to keep people united, he wrote this poem, that is Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol. It was in response of 1905 partition of Bengal, and which was done by Viceroy Lord Curzon at that time. This was actually, you know, in order to bring some kind of unity among the Bengali people. Now when it comes to the Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol, so it actually serves as the state anthem of Bangladesh, but when it comes to the national anthem, that is the Amar Sonar Bangla, Amar Sonar Bangla, and this was actually also written by Rabindranath Tagore ji only, right? So this was also written by him only. So that is definitely there. But when it comes to the second statement, it actually said that it is the national anthem, Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol. It is not the national anthem of Bangladesh. So why it is in news? It is in news because Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol, it actually holds the sentiment of the Bengali people, and this in order to, you know, in order to patriotism, for the patriotism purpose, this was actually done. And recently this has been decided that the West Bengal Assembly has actually recently passed a resolution designating this Poila Baisakh. Poila Baisakh, it is actually being observed on the 15th of April every year as the statehood day, and they have officially announced this thing, that Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol will be the state anthem of West Bengal. Okay, fine. Now let's move on to the next question, that is question number 3. It is related to Hunga Tonga volcano. The very first statement is, it is situated in the West Pacific Ocean. The Hunga Tonga volcano is a submerged volcanic structure. Second is, this volcanic entity gave rise to the Earth's most recent landmass, forming a new island located approximately 65 kilometers northwest of Nuku'alofa Lofa. Third is, importantly, it is distinct from the intensely active Kermadec-Tonga subduction zone and its linked volcanic archipelago. You have to find out which of these are correct over here. Here it should be all three. Okay, I'm not telling you the answer, but the option I'm telling all three. Okay, so here the answer is option A. Only one statement is correct. Here the first statement is wrong. First of all, let me tell you that why it is in news. Hunga Tonga Hapai volcanic eruption recently happened, and the debris which actually came out of the volcano volcano, it actually floated 100 kilometers across the seabed. So that is the reason why it is a nude. So it is situated in the South Pacific Ocean, not that of the west, but in the South Pacific Ocean, positioned roughly 30 kilometers to the south of the submarine volcano Fonuafou, and 65 kilometers to the north of Tonga Tapu, which is the primary island of the Tonga. Now let's move on to the third statement, because third statement is also incorrect. Second statement is correct, so no need to explain anything related to that. Now when it comes to the location and all, so here Kermadec Tonga subduction zone, this is actually situated within that only. Extensively active this Kermadec Tonga subduction zone and corresponding volcanic arc, which stretches from the New Zealand in the northeast direction towards that of the Fiji. Now you have to tell me that where is this Fiji? So let me tell you one thing. I guess that this is really very interesting. So tectonic plates can be really very interesting topic to explain you people. Okay, I'll take one class on this tectonic plates, because when you will understand this tectonic plates, that what actually it is and how it impacts the earth's surface, like that the formation of Himalayas, and this earthquakes also you will understand. And apart from that, you can understand this also, the volcanic eruption also you can understand a lot, many things actually. I'll take one class on that. Well, now let's move on to the next. The first statement over here is land categorized as deemed forest refers to forested areas officially designated by either the central or state governments. Second is when land is granted protection status under the Forest Act, it signifies that altering its use or purpose requires approval from both the central government and local gram panchayats. Third statement, under the Forest Act, those responsible for land conversion are obligated to reforest an area twice the size of the cleared land, in addition to facing substantial financial penalties over here. You have to answer that which of these, how many of these are actually correct over here. This is according to the new pattern which is UPSC is actually asking. Answer is A, only one statement is correct. Here the first statement is wrong. Okay. Now let's see that why it is actually in news. With amended act kicking in, Odisha has no deemed forest. We had already covered this thing, that Odisha is actually not having any deemed forest. Deemed forest, it actually refers to those forested lands that actually lacks the official notification by either by the central government or that by the state governments. That actually falls under the definition, the forest, which actually falls under the definition of the forest, but it has not been designated that particular name, and that is supposed to be done by giving up the notification in the newspapers and all by either the central government or the state governments. That has not been done, though it was advised earlier that the state government are supposed to do that. The state governments are supposed to do that, that they must tell that which all areas falls under the forested area and which they think that it could be. Okay, but they didn't do that. They had always been, let it go kind of job. They actually took it. The 1996 Godavarman Supreme Court ruling mandated the states include such unregistered land that aligns with the conventional definition of the forest. That was supposed to be called as the deemed forest, but they didn't do this thing. So that is the reason why Odisha is actually not having any of the deemed forest. This is the reason behind that. Now, the protection under the Forest Act signifies that altering land use or purpose necessitates approval from both the central and as well as that of the central government and as well as that of the local gram panchayats. So here the node of both of these are required if you are actually planning in order to alter the land use. that it is not going to be forest anymore, or it is going to be used for something else. So here the node of these two are really very important over here. And apart from this, those who are actually responsible for land conversion are obliged under the Forest Act to reforest an area twice the size of the cleared land and incur substantial monetary penalties as well. So that is also supposed to be done over here. Here the Forest Act of 1980, which is also known as the one Adhiniyam. Okay, so it is actually also called as the One Sanrakshan Evam Samvardhan Adhiniyam, which was actually previously called as the Forest Conservation and Augmentation Act. It exclusively provides protection to officially declared forests. So point to be noted over here is that it provides the protection, but for only those areas which has been declared as the forest, and that should have been done according to the Forest Act of 1927 and specifically designated as forest after October 25, 1980. In 1996, the Supreme Court extended the Act's scope, and they said that it to encompass those areas also which has not been officially designated as the forest but meeting the dictionary definition of the forested areas. So that was also supposed to be identified and included, but here this thing not has been done. So that is the reason why the Odisha is facing this kind of issue, and there will be other states also who will be facing this kind of issue. Now the last question of the day, Schizostachium andamanicum. Sometimes seen in the news, it is related to a species that has invaded and is causing a decrease in the Indian oil sardine population. Second is a type of bamboo that has the potential to serve as a sustainable reusable drinking straw. Third is a specific type of bullfrog identified in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And the last one is a novel mutation of coronavirus. So here the answer of this question is actually bamboo. Option B is correct over here. So Botanical Survey of India gets patent for bamboo based reusable straw. Bamboo based reusable straw actually has got patent. So that's really very good news. So this thing, it was actually first identified on the Andaman and Nicobar Island only. So that is the reason why you can see Andamanicum in the name itself, right? Approximately 30 years ago this has been done, and it can be reused. So that is really very good if it could be reused. It stands out due to what? It stands out because of the size and shape. So because it's slender, sizeable, hollow, upright, straight, upright stem with extended spaces between the nodes. So there you can find the extended spaces between the nodes, making it quite suitable for transforming into a drinking straw. That's how the straw actually looks like, cylindrical shape with the hollow in between. So that is how it actually is. Okay, so this is the reason why it actually holds that much of importance over here. Now, this bamboo's genetic resources are limited to the specific forested section of the Andaman Islands only, and the mass production of these straws would rely on the commercial cultivation of this bamboo species. And if this is being done, then it would be really very great for our environment. If not for us, but then for environment. And if something is really good for environment, then ultimately that is going to be really good for us as well. So this is it related to our current affairs MCQs. I hope you people enjoyed it. See you in the next class. Bye bye, take care and have a great time. Jai Hind.